Hola clase, soy Señorita Bailey and I'm going to be your Spanish teacher this year. Welcome to Spanish 2-3 Accelerated. This course is going to be a really advanced course and I'm really excited to teach you this year, but I'm also going to be honest with you. This course is going to be a lot of work. And since you guys are my online learners, this is going to be a lot of work that you're going to be doing on your own. So this video is just going to be a little introduction to me, introduction to the class, and a little bit on what we're doing the first week of school. Before I continue much further, I want to be transparent with you guys. I'm not going to be editing these videos. I'm just going to post them as they are so you get a little better feel of what I'm going to be like as a teacher in class. You get to see my mistakes, me fumble over my words, so on and so forth, the things that we do as humans. So hopefully that'll be fun for you guys and just make you feel like you're really getting to know the real me rather than an overly edited version of me. So I'll introduce myself first. My name is Miss Bailey. I have been teaching at WAMA for 3 years. I teach Spanish and I love it. It's so fun, in my opinion, to learn a new language. It opens up so many different opportunities for you to make new friends, to get to know new cultures, understand your own culture and yourself better. And honestly, it gave me a ton of confidence learning a new language because I just learned so much from my mistakes. I think mistakes are really good, so I encourage you to make some mistakes as you're learning the language because we're not going to be perfect right off the bat. I'm still perfecting my Spanish every day. It'll get better, but it takes a lot of work. So I encourage you guys to have that attitude as we go throughout this year. So week 1, our goals for week 1 are as follows. You're going to learn about the syllabus and you're eventually going to take a syllabus quiz, just quizzing you on if you read about how I'm grading you, what my late work policy is, so on and so forth. If you have questions about how this syllabus applies to you as an online learner, send me an email and ask me that. I highly recommend that you email me with any of your questions. Because that's how we communicate. If we were in person, I would say, come up and talk to me after class, but we don't have that. So you're gonna have to email me. In that, what I recommend is that you start using Spanglish in your emailing. If you know how to say, hola, Señorita Bailey, tengo una pregunta. I have a question, say that, and then type your question in English, but start working more and more towards using more Spanish. As I will be using Spanish with you guys, this video doesn't count because in introducing the class and I want to make sure you know what's going on. But yeah, this class goes through all of the curriculum of Spanish 2 and Spanish 3 in 1 year. That means semester 1, we're going to go through almost all of Spanish 2's curriculum, like a full year's worth of things in 1 semester. That is so much work. But it's going to be so worth it because you guys are going to get so much better at Spanish. So you guys need to have the attitude that's ready to learn, and hopefully you do. Now, the next day of class, we're going to be reviewing a little bit of Spanish and starting to use that to introduce ourselves. So we're going to be focusing on descriptive words, adjectives. How do you describe yourself in Spanish? Can you describe yourself in Spanish? Can you say, hola, soy Señorita Bailey y soy una persona fabulosa? What can you say about yourself in Spanish? So that's going to be another day. We're also going to have a syllabus quiz. So be prepared for all of that. That's week 1. I also recommend that you explore my Canvas page a little bit on your own just to get to know how to use it. Again, if you have questions, email me, please. Now, the next thing we have is that I sent home a couple of materials to you guys. 2 books. They look like this. I'm going to go through this one first. Now, if you remember in Spanish 1, you guys had a time called free reading. You guys would read for the first 10 minutes of class or so. That's what this book is for. It's a book for you to practice free reading on. Just take 10 minutes before you start your Spanish work and get your brain into the mindset to learn Spanish by just reading a simple book. There are 2 sides of this book. One is going to be an easier side and the other side is going to be a little more advanced. Let me talk to you a little bit about that. So one side says that it is the past tense version. Now, you guys haven't learned the past tense explicitly yet, but you've learned a couple of words. For example, in Spanish, you say, yo voy, I go. But if you want to say I went, you would say, yo fui. And you guys might have used this in Miss Wired's class last year. So if you want to work on bettering your past tense, read the past tense version. But if you're struggling because we haven't done Spanish for months, read the present tense version and just review a little bit, and then read the past tense version. If you love to read like I do, I have more books for you guys. We have some online books for you guys to read, so email me when you're done and I can connect you to those resources. Or if you're like me and you really like having a physical copy of a book, I can connect you to that. You can come into school, pick out a book. So sorry for the interruption. But if you're like me and you really like having physical copies, we can have you come in and pick up another copy of that. Now, the next book that we have is titled Esperanza, which actually means hope in Spanish. So we're going to be reading this book as a class. So it's going to take about 3 weeks of us together as a class to read this book. So save this until I tell you to start reading it, because we're going to do a lot of pre-reading activities that go along with each chapter of the book. Sometimes I might read a chapter out loud to you guys, and sometimes you might be reading on your own. This will be a really fun start to the year for us, hopefully. So we'll get to that about the second or third week of school. Okay, so that is a little bit on some of the materials that I've sent out. We will collect those back, and I have the numbers of them. So if you lose them, you will be charged for them. So please be careful not to break my books or anything like that. But hopefully it'll be really good. I'm really excited for this year. I don't know what I'm doing either with online learning, so we're going to learn together. So I appreciate your patience and kindness as we go forward with that. Thank you so much. Bye. Adios.